Hey guys, Luke with Logical Lacrosse here, and welcome to part 1 of my Week 3 review of all the games that occurred this weekend. So, let's get into it. So, first game for this weekend, we'll go to Towson and Mount St. Mary's. Towson, we were kind of wondering how they'd follow up that performance against Hopkins, a very dominant one, and they basically just kind of had this game the whole time. They win 12-7, shots in their favor, 39-36, 19 turnovers for them, 22 for Mount St. Mary's, too high for both schools. Face-offs, Towson does well, wins it 13-8. 7,000 penalties, that's way too high, especially when they want to be beating teams that are way better in their conference, like Massachusetts. So that'll need to be cleaned up. They win the ground ball battle, 39-37. There was a total attendance of 514, so thank you to all those people that showed up and supported your hometown team or Towson. Players of the game for Towson, Brody McLean takes the first spot. 5 goals, 1 assist, literally over a third of their offensive output. Hard to knock him for that. Luke Fromert, 3 goals, 1 assist. Great game by him as well. My player of the game for Mount St. Mary's is Joe Bethel. He had a hat trick. Basically their best player of the game. About 50% of their goals, a little under. So Towson, good follow-up performance. And Mount St. Mary's is going to have to do a little bit of rebounding after this tough game. So next up, a battle of 2 first-year head coaches. Pretty good game. Lafayette at Wagner. Lafayette takes it 13-10. Shots were in their favor, 40-31. Pretty good. They only had 12 turnovers compared to Wagner 17. Probably made a difference in a 3-goal game. Lafayette caused 11 of those turnovers, though, to Wagner. So Wagner only had 6 unforced turnovers. So they got to be careful with the ball, though. I mean, they're putting themselves in a situation to do that. But you got to give credit to Lafayette there. Face-offs very even, 13-12, favoring the Leopards. Ground balls in Lafayette's favor as well, 33-25. Players of the game for Lafayette, Andrew Robbins with a hat trick. Connor Dennert, he also had a hat trick, so good job to those 2 guys. And for Wagner, I'm giving it to John Norton, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5-point game. Really good day. 50% of the total output if you combine the goals and assists. I mean, you can't have it much better than that. And Dominic Branda, he had 2 goals and 1 assist, so he kind of rounded it up. Those 2 guys were really the only main consistent threats for Wagner. Wagner, I was getting a little excited after that season opening win over Bellarmine, but I think they're struggling a bit again. They're going to have to rebound. Lafayette, congrats, they've really rebounded well after that opening loss to Rutgers, so it'll be interesting to see how they keep going moving forward. So definitely the best game of Friday night. I got moved up because of weather, and this is Lehigh at Virginia. I watched part of this game. Virginia takes it 11-8, but Lehigh was leading. They really kind of blew it, in my opinion. They kind of collapsed. The offense just did not help out the defense. Shots were basically even, 33-34 in favor of the home team. 22 turnovers for Lehigh, way too high. Saw a lot of those, and they were terrible turnovers, to be honest. 13 turnovers for Virginia, pretty good. Caused turnovers, Virginia did cause 12 of those. Lehigh had been causing more turnovers in the first couple of games. They only forced 7 this time, but they had some really big turnovers they did force that kept them in the game. Face-offs, Lehigh wins those 15-8. 7 Virginia penalties, like Towson. They're going to have to clean that up, especially for ACC play, especially since Duke and Syracuse both really rebounded this Saturday. Ground balls, Lehigh wins 45-42. But like I said, for this game, Lehigh had the lead. I think it was, 2 goals going in after half, and they seemed good, and it was close, continued to be close, and they just kind of fell apart in the 4th quarter. Virginia's offense kept going. I mean, the Lehigh defense did great, but the offense, Lehigh would get a stop, and then Lehigh's offense just couldn't do anything, and eventually it caused Virginia to get some more goals in. Lehigh's defense got a little tired. So you got to give credit to the Lehigh D, but that Lehigh offense has got to improve. They have so many guys returning. It's kind of shocking to see their offense be, I hate to say it like this, but pretty bad. But players of the game, we'll get into Virginia. Michael Kraus, 4 goals, 1 assist. Great game. Ian Laviano, 2 goals, 1 assist. And Alex Rode, he had 11 saves. a .579% save rate, and this guy had some amazing saves, especially on the man-up. He killed every penalty I saw. Lehigh did have some great opportunities for goals, and he saved all of them. They were not easy saves. So he's probably really the reason Virginia won this game, was able to pull away. Lehigh, my player of the game, Alex Tumanella, 3 goals, 1 assist, and Tristan Rye, 2 goals and 2 assists. So Lehigh's going to have to rebound. They have struggled. The offense has got to improve, especially as we've seen Colgate and Loyola. They're definitely the top 2 contenders in the Patriot League so far. Great win for Virginia. Good rebound after losing to Loyola. Another good game Friday night, Marquette at Jacksonville. Marquette takes this one 14-12. Shots in their favor, 42-36. 15 turnovers for them, 17 for Jacksonville. Too high for Jacksonville. Face-offs, Jacksonville wins. Good job. Their face-off man definitely stepped up this game. They win those 16-13. Ground balls, 42-27 in Marquette's favor. Attendance, 247, so thank you to those people who showed up. Players of the game for Marquette, Bob Pelton, 3 goals. Andrew Romagnoli, 2 goals, 2 assists. So good job by those 2 guys. For Jacksonville, I got Evan Tyler. He had 5 goals. Basically 50% of the offense. I mean, really good game by him. Shame they had to lose when he has a game like that. And Jack Delaney, he had a hat trick as well. So pretty good, close, competitive game. Jacksonville looking for that first win. They got to keep grinding. Marquette definitely looked good so far. You know, they're going to have some tougher teams coming up in the Big East Conference. Villanova's now going to be a massive threat for the whole crown. So it'll be interesting to see how they move forward. UMBC at Navy is up next. UMBC best known for knocking off number 1 Albany last year, and they looked pretty bad this game, to be honest. They lose 6-11. Navy, of course, is very good. They always are. Attendance, really good attendance, 943 people. Shots in favor of the Retrievers, 41-40. Ground balls, though, in favor of Navy, 40-29. Clears, great clearing by both. Great clearing by Navy, but it was only 19-25, but pretty good. But the UMBC clears were terrible. That's I skimmed over that number a little bit too quick, but 15-27, awful. Basically a 50% clear rate. You are gonna lose a lot of games if you can only clear it 50% of the time. And oh my gosh, that is terrible. I couldn't believe that when I saw that stat. But that's why Navy wins by 5 goals. Really, they keep getting extra offensive possessions by causing failed clears. Man up. UMBC 0 for 3. Could have been 9-11 if they would have converted all those. Navy 50% rate, 1 for 2. Turnovers, way too high for both teams. 25 for the Retrievers, 26 for the Midshipmen. My players of the game, we'll start with the Retrievers. Trevor Patchork, he had 2 goals. And for Navy, I'm giving it to Christian Daniel. He had 5 goals and 1 assist. So good game by him. Good job by Navy. Really dominate this game. UMBC is really going to have to improve on the clears and in the turnover department if they want to be competitive in future games. So the first game this Saturday that occurred was Sacred Heart at Furman. Furman's still looking for that first win, and they did not get it this weekend. Sacred Heart takes it 18-11. Total attendance of 121. So thanks to those people that showed up. Wish Furman could get some wins so they could get some more attendance. Especially being a newer program, they definitely want some more support. But great that people are still showing up. When the wins come, they'll get more people. Total shots in favor of Sacred Heart, 47-37. And this was crazy when I saw this. You never see this many ground balls, but Sacred Heart had 65 ground balls compared to 49 ground balls. So the ball must have been on the ground a lot that game, because oh my gosh, I've never seen 60-plus ground balls in a game for one team, I believe. Turnovers, high for both teams, 21-23 to Furman with more. Players of the game, we'll start with Furman. David Williamson, 2 goals. Jared Burtz, he had 2 goals as well. For Sacred Heart, Max Tuttle, 6 goals, a third of the offense, and 2 assists. I mean, monster game by him. And Logan Lilsberg, 3 goals, 2 assists. So Sacred Heart did really well. Good win on the road. Furman, they've really struggled to start the year. I think they've improved but they just are having no luck. I think all the balls are bouncing for the other team, and they're just going to have to keep playing. A lot of teams in the SoCon struggle in the non-conference and then eventually do well in the conference play, so Furman's just going to have to kind of look to the future, I believe. He's going to start playing more for the conference championship. So Denver Duke, this was initially my game of the week, but I changed it because I did Denver last week, and this was an awesome game. Duke wins 10-9 with literally a buzzer beater to take the game away from Denver, and Denver honestly completely choked this game away. We'll get into that in a second, but attendance, very good for a rainy day. I did not think it was this much when I watched it on stream, but 1,216 people. Duke only had 20 shots. Think about that. 50% of the shots they took were goals. Denver at 34. Ground balls, Duke takes it 31-23, 12-11, favoring Denver on the face-offs, but Duke won all the critical face-offs at the end, so I feel like that stat's a little misleading. Neither team scored on the man-up, 0 for 2 for Denver, 0 for 1 for Duke. Obviously, if Denver scored on both those man-ups, or at least one, they would have been going to overtime or would have won. So if people that say, oh, the man-ups don't matter too much, that's the reason you got to convert on every single one, even though it's not practical to do that. Duke, players of the game, Joe Robertson, 4 goals, 1 assist, really helped lead the big comeback. And of course, Joey Manown has to get the other one. He had 1 goal, 2 assists, but he had the 1 goal. It was the game-winning goal. 6 seconds left. It was a pass. Duke guy doesn't catch the ball. It gets kind of knocked a bit. And then Manow was just in the right place at the right time. Scoops the ground ball, shoots, scores. Great play by him. Denver really blew that again. 6 seconds left. You cannot be giving up a goal off the face-off. I mean, that is just awful, in my opinion, but what can you do? You blew it. Denver, Dylan Johnson, another good game. He was my player of the game last week for them. Everywhere on D, and he had a goal. So the D pole scores a goal, you gotta give it to him. And Ellis Geis, the true freshman, really coming out, continuing to show he's going to be a key contributor to the Pio's offense. 2 goals, 1 assist. So yeah, 7-5 mid-fourth for Denver, and they just fell apart. I don't know what happened with that. They must have just a little mentally unfocused, and it showed. So congrats to Duke on a great rebound. People saying Duke shouldn't have been ranked. I was told that by one person after the High Point loss. They definitely should be, and they just knocked off number 6. So Duke, people that were saying Duke's going away, Duke is not going away, and this proves it. Bellarmine at Cleveland State. This was a battle of 2 teams searching for their first win. Cleveland State finally gets it. They win 17-8. Really good performance for them. They win in the shots department, 46-24. High turnovers for both teams. Really sloppy. 23 for the Vikings, 21 for Bellarmine. Face-offs. This really made the difference, I believe, and allowed Cleveland State to pile on. Face-offs 25-3 in their favor. Ground balls 39-22 in their favor. And attendance of 257, so pretty good. I've seen the dome on the streams and stuff, so I think that's pretty good attendance for kind of how their facility is. Not knocking on the facility, but it's more just people kind of sit on the opposite side. At least that's what it was when I last saw. So thank you to those people that came and showed up and supported them. Bellarmine, players of the game. You guessed it, Landon Trout. He's a player of the game for 3rd straight week for Bellarmine. Get 2 goals, 1 assist. Really their best player overall, I'd say. And Luke Lignard had a hat trick, so good game by him. See, Cleveland State, though, Adam Clark with the hat trick. But he doesn't take my top honors for player of the game. I'm giving that to Danny Tesler. 16 out of 18 on the face-offs. Really allowed the Vikings to pile on the score. And when you get a goal and then can win the face-off and score again right away, it's going to be really hard for the other team to come back. And it really showed in this game. So this is a game that a lot of people really didn't talk about, but it was a pretty sneaky good game. North Carolina, who might be the best team in the ACC, wins 16-11 against Harvard. Good game. Really low attendance for North Carolina, only 173. Might have had a basketball game or something, but I was a little bummed to see that. Thank you to those people that did show up and support. Shots in favor of North Carolina, 42-34. Turnovers, 24 for Harvard, 18 for North Carolina. Harvard had some first game jitters. North Carolina's, this is their third game, so North Carolina's going to be a little bit in better game shape, and it kind of showed. Ground balls, they win 47-34. Man up, good for both teams. Harvard 2 for 4, 3 for 4 for North Carolina. Player of the game for Harvard, Austin Madronic, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6-point game. A little over 50% of the total offensive output and efficiency. I mean, that guy really was the offense, if you ask me. North Carolina, player of the game, top player of the game, this guy, Jake Padon. Check his goal out if you did not see it. He had 1 goal. He's a D-pole, so this is why he's getting it. But he scored a crazy goal. He did an around-the-world goal on the transition. Great goal. I could not believe that when I saw that. I mean, the fact that guy took that kind of shot in a game and converted it, and man, that guy has got some guts. Other player of the game, though, Justin Anderson, the midfielder, he had a hat trick as well, so congrats to him. Good job, North Carolina. This is their first really quality win, and it'll be interesting to see if they are one of the higher level teams in the ACC this year. So Penn State just keeps marching forward. Definitely the most impressive team of all the teams that have played so far for the 2019 season. Penn State beat Stony Brook 17-4. Great attendance, though, for the Sea Wolves. It was 1,330 people, so thank you to all those people that showed up. Shots, Penn State 45, Stony Brook 35. Turnovers, pretty good for both teams, 14 to 15. Stony Brook with 1 more. Penn State, I had to point this out, really good on the clear. I complained about their clear in my preseason projections, but 17 of 18 on the clear. I mean, that's basically 1 off from being perfect. That is really good. Ground balls, 28-22 in the Nittany Lions' favors. Man up, my 1 knock on Penn State. I know I'm nitpicking, but they are 0 for 1 in the man up. Stony Brook 0 for 2, so the man down for Penn State was good. Penn State player of the game goes to Mac O'Keefe. 7 goals, 1 assist. Just a monster game. I mean, really can't complain about his play. And Grant Emont, 1 goal, 4 assists. He is a huge addition to the team after being out last year. Really solid final player of the game for Stony Brook. No offense if you're a fan of them, but I'm giving it to Corey Vandenhoven with 1 goal. He had a lot more shots than the other team, so I like that he was trying to make something happen. But yeah, Penn State, they play Yale next week. Yale lost to Villanova, who Penn State murdered. So that is going to be an epic matchup, I think, and we're going to see really how good Penn State is after that game. Manhattan at VMI. I gave a little bit of hate to VMI, not to be rude or anything, but I just said they've really struggled against opponents, and they did not today. It was a very good game. I think probably one of the better games this week, especially that no one is talking about. VMI wins at home 11-10, attendance of 107 people. If VMI keeps winning, then they're going to get the more people, so good job to all those Keydit fans for cheering them on. Shots in favor of Manhattan, 44-42. Ground balls also in their favor, 29-25, but that is not what really made the difference. We'll get into that in a second. For players of the game, Manhattan, Luke Hansen, 3 goals, 2 assists, really their best offensive player. And this was a goalie battle, in my opinion. Brendan Krebs, 15 saves for Manhattan. Great game. Really kept him in the game. Both teams really could have blown the other out with the amount of good shots on goal they got on net. VMI, Ryan Peretti, he had 4 goals. Great game by him. And Benjamin Stump with 14 saves. So good goaltending play really made the difference in this game. Both goalies, I feel bad for Krebs because he lost by 1 goal, but 15 saves. When you are a goalie and you have more saves than goals you let in, that's a really good day. So congrats to both teams and their goaltenders, and good job to VMI for getting a really big opening season win. Hopefully they'll take that confidence in to turn it into a SoCon victory, which they have not had yet. So final game for part 1. Sneaky good game. I wasn't really expecting this to be so close, but High Point on the road in Philadelphia at Drexel. This game goes to overtime. High Point takes it 15-14. Drexel really started fast with 7 goals in the first quarter. I mean, they were averaging 28-point goals for that whole game if they had kept that pace up. Obviously, they did not. But yeah, really bad defensive play by High Point to allow that many. Attendance, 785 people, so really good attendance for Drexel. Shots, 50-43 in favor of Drexel. Turnovers, 21 for High Point, 20 for Drexel, way too high. Really makes a difference in these one-goal games, especially when they go to overtime. Ground balls, Drexel dominated really, 48-30. I think that's really what allowed them to keep this game closer than what many people thought. Face-offs, Drexel also wins 21-11. Great job by them. Man up, 4 for 7 for Drexel and 1 for 3 for High Point. So pretty good man up play by both teams. But players of the game, and you will see why. High Point won. Ben Baker had a hat trick. He's always been good. And Tim Troutner Jr., the best goalie in the country, in my opinion. 13 saves. I think Drexel's goalie only had 6. And that superior goaltender play by Troutner really allowed his team to squeak out a game they probably should not have won, to be honest. I think they were kind of sleepwalking. They got Virginia on Monday. They might have been looking ahead, but they really sneaked one out. Drexel's player of the game, Reed Bowring, 3 goals, 1 assist. Good job by him. And Marshall King, 2 goals, 4 assists. So, good opening day for Drexel. I know they lost. High Point, they gotta watch out. They cannot get complacent. They're not a big program that can get away with sleepwalking and letting off the gas and allowing superior talent. They're still a young program. It'll be interesting to see how they play Virginia this Monday. So guys, that'll do it for part 1 of my 3-part series for the Week 3 review of all the games that occurred. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps me grow out the channel. Also, if you are looking for more content like this, feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter at the same name, logical_lacrosse. You can also go to my website at www.logicallacrosse.com. But I will be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next 2 parts, and as always, have a good day.